that he's driving out of the stadium last night, and fans are yelling at him, Angel Hernandez, you suck and I hate you. I'm not here to defend Angel Hernandez, Bert, but I am here to speak of a baseball era gone by. And I don't know if you remember the 90s Braves as well as I do, because I'm a little bit older than you. But he, back in the day, Greg Maddux would get couple inches off the plate, 4 inches off the plate, 5 inches off the plate. Same thing with Tom Glavine. Well, if you can consistently put it there and the catcher sets up there, that's part of the deal. So you had players, leaning out over the plate, and that's how it was umped. That's what went on. And it always seemed completely unfair. I mean, I think today is obviously better. But Hernandez, horrible. Got 85% of the pitches right, missed 19 calls. Kyle Schwarber was absolutely justified in losing his mind, but he just had a really wide strike zone, and people do complain that baseball takes forever. Well, if you wanted to move along, wide strike zones help. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're exactly right. You saw like the wide strike zone thing. You saw Noah Syndergaard tweet his support for Angel Hernandez for that exact reason. And I'm sure other pitchers feel the same way, but like the hitters, Kyle Schwarber, you never see him really get super pissed off. And yet he was absolutely letting Angel Hernandez have it as soon as that ended up happening, and he got tossed. And ever since then, obviously you mentioned the Philly fans going after Hernandez as he was leaving the stadium, but there's been a bunch of Twitter stats that have been pulled up. There's one from Codify. He said this morning, or he said last night, Angel Hernandez has missed over 2,600 balls and strike calls in the last 7 years. Oh, how I wish I was kidding. That is an absolutely absurd number, Carm. Like, I don't know how that's legit. And there's also an ump scorecard Twitter account that it gave him an 88% accuracy rating. And then the overall favor was 0.77 runs for the Brewers in that game. So the Phillies, like both teams were frustrated, but the Phillies, like especially so, and justifiably so too.
Yeah, there's all these things out there, what you just named, and there's umpire auditor, which I don't think existed until, I don't know when umpire auditor was making its way around the old internet, but there's, listen, there is more spotlight on the umpires now because of the box, and you can see that they missed the call. And I don't think that I'm not giving Angel Hernandez any credit that he had a very strategic box that he was adhering to. Henceforth, he umped the game that he wanted to ump versus he's just really bad at his job. And for whatever reason, and if you could explain this to me, Bert, why does he get to keep his position? I know he had his lawsuit, which he lost, saying that there was discrimination on him being able to ump in the World Series. He thought Joe Torre had it out for him, and maybe Torre did. But the bottom line is you're so bad at your job that there's no way to actually get there because there's just too much evidence against you. And by the way, it's not like we haven't had minorities, people of color who are umping the World Series. So it had no merits. But so why does he keep his gig? How does he get to do this?
My honest answer is I don't know. Hernandez stinks. I mean, I always think that umpires, referees in any sport have a very difficult job because no matter what, there's going to be somebody who's upset with them. But with Hernandez, it's a consistent theme. Every time he's behind the plate, there's always controversy. There's always somebody really upset. And more often than not, they have every right to be. And it's at the point now where it's not just like a 1 year thing. It's not a 2 year thing. It's over a sustained period of time. Like Major League Baseball, to me, has got to solve their Angel Hernandez problem because it has a big one and it's long overdue.
Right. So, hey, Angel, this is your last season umpiring. We really appreciate your incredible career. You've been a great advocate for the game of baseball. Your story making it to an umpire is fantastic. But you're now 60 years old. And as much as we appreciate your history coming out of Cuba and everything that you've done for the game, starting with working for the National League all the way back in 1991, you're awesome, man. But it's over. And we're going to create an umpire. No, we're not creating anything for you. Actually, I was gonna, because I don't know. I don't know why this dude can't just be fired. You're out. Thank you. This is your performance. This is the majors, and we no longer are going to employ you. Period.
And let me tell you, Carm, you're not the only person who's saying that. Actually, you're one of many people who are saying that, both outside of the game and inside of the game, is how does Angel Hernandez still have a job? And nobody really has a good answer.
Right. This doesn't keep me up at night, for the record. Like,
But
whatever.
it does for me.
Okay. Really?
Okay.
Okay. But well, here, I'll give another Angel Hernandez moment in time. He's at Wrigley Field. I think the year was either 2000, 2001. I mean, we're talking 20 years ago. And he has a terrible call at home plate in the Cub game. Steve McMichael, who's battling ALS, one of the Chicago Bears all-time greats, gets up there to sing the 7th inning stretch. And he's like, and for that home plate umpire down there, I got something for him too. And Angel Hernandez looks up at Steve McMichael in the booth, 3 stories up, and ejects Michael from the ballpark. You out of here. And it's just so pathetic, like that you want to use your power wherever you can use it. And that's the worst thing for me about referees or umpires. I have the power, you don't mess with me. This is the position I have in life. Like that, dude, that's not the point of your position. Your point is to be a good adjudicator and also a good communicator, and be able to allow water off a duck's back when someone's yelling at you, not to be the guy that kicks out the 7th inning stretch guy. He should have laughed at that.
Should have, but also I want to first point out, excellent word choice there, adjudicator. That opened up the vocabulary, Carm. I'm very proud.
I'm big, Bert. I'm very big. Yep.
Well, I mean, we've known that, so it's a day that ends in Y, Carm.
Yeah.
But anyways, I did not know that Hernandez story at all. I did not realize he actually ended up tossing out the guy who was calling him out over the loudspeaker, which it's the most Angel Hernandez thing I've ever heard in my life. And it also reminds me, do you remember during COVID ball when Joe West ejected Mike Rizzo from the one of the booths?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I thought Country Joe West was the only umpire who did that. So although if there was a second umpire that I would have guessed would have done that, Angel Hernandez would have been numero uno.
Yeah. Listen, you are allowed to yell at umpires from a fan standpoint. It's over the top. You don't want to incite the fans on the ump like McMichael did. However, it was already going on. And what are you talking about? Kicking him out of the game? How exactly do you think you're enforcing that, Angel? You leaving your position behind home plate to make sure that, it's one thing you eject a guy out of the game. Okay, I don't see you in the dugout. You're not able to manage, and or certainly you can't come up to the plate. The whole thing was ridiculous. But all right, yeah, not just I baseball. We here at the Baseball Insiders are hoping you move on from your Angel Hernandez problem.